Priscila.
Hi, I'm Alex.
And hi everyone, I'm Uzma Jalaluddin.
I'm so happy you are here because this was one of my favorite books because it is so important to find new adult books that talk about such difficult topics, especially change. For me, it was very difficult because I had no books when I turned 2021, and I had no books to guide me through that. So this it came a little bit late for me, but it was perfect because it still applied a lot to my life, and it changed, helped me with a lot of stuff. So it was amazing.
I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you so much. I distinctly remember being Hannah's age and feeling all of those same feelings. And like, I think, the early 20s are a tough time to navigate.
Exactly. So, do you have your pen and paper ready?
I do.
Ready for the interview?
I'm gonna write. I'm gonna draw the U.S. cover. Okay, so you have the beautiful UK cover, but I have a blue pen, so I'm gonna go with blue.
It's gonna be great. I already know it. All right. So I'm going to start the clock. Just a minute.
And it's
in 3.
Perfect.
Yes, that's fine. That's perfect.
On
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
Alrighty, for a this or that round, do you prefer reading YA or new adult books?
I preferred adult fiction in general. I feel like when I was growing up, there wasn't a lot of adult fiction at all. And so, YA fiction at all. Like, it was sort of an emerging sort of. And so as a result, I didn't really read a lot of, outside of like things like Fear Street or like Christopher Pike or things like that. Yeah, like not really. And I don't even know if that really counts, like as...
it counts in a way, right? Reading experiences?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe a little bit.
Right.
Oh, poor Hannah. Her face is so funny. My son is retarded.
Oh.
Go on.
Oh no worries. Do you prefer wholesome scenes or teary-eyed scenes?
Wholesome, I think. Yeah, I think I like the wholesome scenes more. I'm a big, you can probably tell, I'm a big fan of comedy. I like writing funny books, and so Hana Khan has a lot of humor in it, and I think in general, I find the world is just such a dark place that I like to just write and read lighter tone books, even though once in a while I do need my angsty books as well.
Of course, you need that escapism, right?
Definitely.
We all do. And then, do you prefer things that are based on true events or imagined at all?
Imagined. I'm more about I'm more about pure fiction.
Excellent. And then, do you prefer to fill up your shelves or do you read what you have first? I see you have a lovely collection behind you. So.
My husband would say that I have a terrible habit of buying new books without reading the ones I have. So I probably buy a whole bunch and then I'll stop and I'll read a few of them and then I'll buy some more. So I probably own more books than I have actually read recently. It's hard when you're a writer too because people want you to read their books and to send over your stuff to them as well. So.
And that's 2 minutes.
Okay.
Yay! 2 minutes.
Really bad. I tried.
No, I think that's awesome.
That's beautiful. I love how you did the shadow,
don't even try. It's terrible.
It was pretty though. I liked it.
Yeah,
it was very creative.
If you turn it around with the mirror effect, you can get the UK cover over there too. So.
Let's never talk about this again. I can't believe I could do this.
It's a pre-order gift for your next book. Look, I have the original art by the writer.
So, do tell us a little bit more about Hana Khan Carries On. What is it about?
Yeah, sure. Hana Khan Carries On. The idea was to kind of take one of my favorite rom-com movies, which is You've Got Mail. So it's a movie from 1998 with Tom Hanks, thank you, and Meg Ryan, and then rework it. So it's a retelling of You've Got Mail, but it's set in a Toronto, like rival halal restaurants in Toronto. So it's set in a very close-knit Muslim community. This community, like where I grew up in the east end of the city of Toronto, is very, very diverse. So there are people from all over the world. And I grew up in sort of like this really close-knit South Asian community made up of a lot of Muslims. And I was trying to capture that feeling of that like really close-knit community when I was writing Hana Khan Carries On. Mm-hmm. But really it follows the main character, Hannah, who's 24 years old, and she's kind of at this crossroad in her life. She's finished school. She's wondering what her next step is. She's trying to, go in sort of a non-traditional field for herself. She wants to break into radio. Her mother runs an old-fashioned kind of mom and pop shop. It's an Indian restaurant in this neighborhood, and this new hipster halal restaurant opens up down the street. So there's a lot of like financial struggles, and there's a lot of Hannah just trying to figure out who she is. And then throughout the book, you have transcripts from a podcast that Hannah runs that tells everyone what she's sort of experiencing. And I just tend to put a lot of plot in my book. So there's like family who come to visit from India. There's unfortunately, there's a hate-motivated attack that happens on her street. So there's a lot of things happening in Hannah's life, but ultimately it's a funny, uplifting story.
Mm-hmm. Sounds a lot
I felt that.
Well, yeah, you put a lot of that mixture, the realism of it, because life is full of those layers, right? It's full of those comedic moments, the not so happy ones, but you still get through them. So that's something beautiful that you brought out in the story.
Thank you.
Yeah, very true. And for me, I think, like I mentioned, the most important theme for me was change, because when we get to our 20s, it's the thing that defines our life the most, because either we have to say goodbye to our older family members, we have to focus on a job that we had to decide in high school that we're not sure if it's the one for us, if it's what we like, if it's what we're good at. And then we have to move out, and we have new streets and new people to meet, and everything is changed, and it's hard to find comfort in that. So I think when I read this book, I really related super hard with her story because of that, because it is very hard, and it is very hard to find books that talk about it. So it was very important for me, this book. I definitely recommend it to everybody.
Thank you so
much.
Both
the UK and the US cover now.
That's right.
They're both equally lovely.
Yes. So what do you have in the future? What are your future plans?
So I do have a third book coming out, and I'm in the process of drafting it right now. Thank you so much. As much as Hana Khan was about light issues, it was also about some serious issues of identity.
Right.
So I think those are the types of themes that I'm always going to be interested in. And this third book is also set in Toronto. I kind of see my first book I shot last, Hana Khan Carries On, and whatever my third book is titled is sort of like my Toronto trilogy. So it'll be about South Asian Muslim community in Toronto, but I'm very early in it. I'm in a first draft, and I'm maybe 70 pages in. So for me, that's just scratching the surface. Right now it's sort of taking the book. What I've written is it's a bit of a second chance romance that starts off there's this thing that happens in Toronto, and I'm sure in other places as well, where there's a very large Muslim conference that happens where people from all, like, you have 20,000 people show up over the course of the weekend. So it's like Comic-Con, but for Muslims.
Love the comparison.
And it's a huge
but is it a retelling as well?
It'll probably be some sort of a retelling, but I'm not 100% sure yet. Like, the threads are not 100% there. But the theme I really want to talk about is just this idea of ambition in slightly older women, and how, how do you reconcile, like someone in their 30s, like how do you reconcile running after a dream with maybe the expectations more immigrant community. So it's something that I feel like I've struggled with, and I know it'll be really resonant with a lot of other girls, a lot of other young women as well. But it's also going to be a love story, so I have a very interesting, broody main male lead, and I'm excited about it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Uzma, for being with us in this interview in our show. Thank you so much for being a part of it. It was amazing to meet you.
Likewise. Thank you so much for letting me practice my horrible drawing skills. Like, clearly it
was not that bad.
You couldn't have lived without this ticked off your list. You had to.
Definitely.
Phenomenal.
Thank you so much.
You.
Right. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.